Hi everyone and welcome to the Relic Guide for Masketeers. A big thank you to Ahlmeister for putting this together. He's done it on his own accord, so it's his opinion, but he's a pro player and he did give feedback from the community and really researched it thoroughly. So he's worked really hard on it, so thank you so much for doing it. I will put a link to this Reddit post which has the guide, a Google Doc attached in a link. So you just click on the link and it will break down everything for you. Now this relic guide gives you basically an idea of which relics you can get during the game, early, mid and late. It's not kind of telling you how much you should level them by, or an optimizer to leveling them. Unfortunately there's not enough information or algorithms just yet having that mechanic, but you know, it will eventually come with more research. This is more to say what basically relics do, the benefits of them and when you should get them, hopefully as a kind of indication. Obviously people have different opinions. Leave your comment below. All suggestions are great. We'll share it with the community, but at least this points you in the right direction hopefully and help you in the game as well. So Ahlmeister says, here is my attempt at a comprehensive relic guide for new players. I put in a few tips I've discovered while playing the game. I've tried to strike a balance between what is good in the early game and what is best in late game. The distinction between early, mid and late game isn't entirely clear, so take everything with a grain of salt. I would like to thank the wiki crew over at masketeersfandom.com wiki. So again, thank you very much to them. I'll link that below as well. Their work and resources, without them, this would have taken a lot longer to make. I also like to thank Lemon Llama and Soulrise Gaming for the inspiration to make this guide. Thank you. And also, last but not least, the community over at Masketeers Discord, which keeps me coming back to this game every day. So it's graded by S tier being the best in the game, which gives you the most progress potential or provides other vital bonuses. Then you got A tier, which is good all-round relic to boost your power. B tier, relics with situational benefits or that are good in late game. C tier, which are niche relics, and F tier, which are useless relics. So there's currently 39 relics in the game for you to collect. Now the first 3 on this list are unlocked by your Milestone Tree. So when we talk about milestone, when you reach a certain stage, you unlock rewards on this Milestone Tree, which can be found at the top left hand corner of the menu, right about there. So a little icon there. So the first 3 you can unlock, you can only unlock when you reach a certain level. These are, so the first one is Arcane Time, which is at stage 115. Then it's Daunting Bell at stage 270. And the last one is Twilight Clock at 480. Now once you reach those stages, you automatically get those relics. Otherwise, you have to spend Arcana, which you get Arcana from leveling up your stages and then clicking Transcend or Divine Transcend, which gives you Arcane to spend on leveling your relics or buying new relics. And when you click on Relic Discovery, it gives you option of 3 random relics to choose from. You can re-roll them if you wish. If you think it's a bad one, you want to get a better higher tier one. But you get choice of 1 and 3, and that's when you use this list to determine which ones you should get first for hopefully an easier beginning grind really. So I'll go through all of them. So the first one's 3, as I said, unlocked. They're graded already at S tier, and I'll go through each relic individually. So the first one is Arcane Time. That gives you plus 10% Arcana for Transcendence. So more Arcana means that you can buy more relics and level up more. So the undisputed best relic in a game, it gives you more Arcana per stage, which will make you stronger over time. It does, however, get really expensive at higher levels. So these ones you can get, you basically want to get straight away. So the second one is Twilight Clock. So this is stage skip and also gives you 300% spark drop. Makes you skip 2 or 1 stages each time you kill a boss. For example, if you have this relic at level 1 and kill a boss on stage 1, you'll skip 2 extra stages forwards. So instead of getting to stage 2, you get to stage 4. At stage 25, you only skip 1 extra stage, so you have to go from stage 25 to 27. This will speed up on your game immensely since you only have to clear less than half the stages. You want to have this relic leveled so it reaches a bit further than your max stage. Ideally, you want to reach more than twice as far as your max stage so you always gain 3 extra stages. Daunting Bell. So the enemy wave, so -1 enemy waves per stage, and that's maxes out of 5. Reduces the number of waves per stage effectively, cutting the time to get to high stages for half. Maxes out as soon as possible. So some relics will be maxed, and if it's blank, it means there isn't max. You can keep leveling it. So on number 4 is Ravenous Machete, that gives you plus 75% damage versus bosses, and also plus 70% spark drop, and you should get this really early to mid game. Straight damage to increases to bosses. Bosses are usually what stops a run, so it's a good relic to have. Leveling this up without leveling Sculpt or Surge may mean that you get stuck on normal raves. It's a tier that you have, so it's an A tier if you have Sculpt or Surge. Then you've got number 5, Vermilion Blade, so plus 50% Guardian of Power bonus, plus 100% HP. This is early game. Makes the attack bonus from Guardian of Power stronger. This relic bonus multiplies with Shield of Gods, so level both to get the most out of them. Then you got Lustrous Hammer, so it's plus 6% normal Wraith Spark Drop, plus 70% damage, and this game should be early. This relic increases the spark drop from all non-boss wraiths. This includes spark wraiths, which makes them one of the best and most reliable sources for sparks. This is not all, however, since the relics also increase koi spark drops, which if you've got ad skip or can sit through the ads, is the best spark source at the moment. These things combined to makes this perhaps the best spark relic. It's quite cheap to level, and its upgrade bonus gives you damage. It's just the icing on the cake. And then you've got Sculpts of Surge, as you mentioned earlier. This should be together with the Ravenous Machete, and this is plus 75% damage versus normal wraiths and plus 50% HP. A straight damage increase to non-bosses. Leveling this up without leveling Ravenous Machete may mean that you get hard stuck on bosses, and A tier if you have Ravenous Machete. Then you've got Sparkling Token, which is a plus 50% Guardian of Wealth main bonus and plus 100% damage, and this should be good early on game. Makes this spark drop bonus from Guardian of Wealth stronger. This relic bonus multiplies with Shield of the Gods, so level both to get most out of them. Dearly Beloved, which gives you 200% boss spark drop and plus 70% spark drop, could be used early. Bosses are perhaps the best source of sparks in really early game, but getting overtaken later by Spark Wraith and Koi in later stages. If you want to speed run through the early game, you can pick this relic up and later on disenchant for another one. So that's why it's B for early and F, so it depends if you want a speedier run at the beginning. Goblet of Fortune, so plus 200% Koi Spark Drop and plus 70% HP. This should be mid-level. So Koi Spark Drop is perhaps the best source for sparks in late game to having a lot of relics and blessings that increase it. That it is not important in early game when runs are quite short and most players don't have Koi ad skip yet. So you've got Dragon's Grail, and that's a plus 50% Guardian of Vigor main bonus, plus 100% spark drop, and this is last, so like very late game. Makes the HP bonus from Guardian of Vigor stronger. HP is unfortunately a really weak stat throughout the game, and your masters will get one shot at higher stages regardless of how high you increase it. Leave this relic until you've collected the rest of them, so it's like the last one. That's probably why it's an F for fail. S tier Vivid Vessel, this is a plus 100% elemental damage and 120% damage, and this should be first or early. Now makes your elemental damage stronger. Elemental damage is the best source of damage in the game due to its multiplying with your normal damage, which makes this relic so strong that it multiplies with other elemental damage relics, making it vital if you want to progress quickly. I recommend you get this one of your first relics, even though it's expensive to level up. Now, I have done a separate video about Mask Guard. This explains about the stats, elemental damage, and about grouping. So I would recommend, if you're looking at using elemental damage to increase your power of your mask, which is very essential for leveling quicker throughout the game, especially late game. Check out the Mask Guide video. It's in the playlist, and also I'll link it below. So that should be helpfully understand a bit more about mask and elemental damage of the masks. So you've got Summoning Stone, gives you plus 20% all spark damage and plus 7% damage. This could be early on. Increases all spark drops. It's great. Get it ASAP. B, Prismatic Plaque. plus 1% burn frost chance, plus 150% spark drop, and this could be maxed out at 5, and you should get that early game. Increase the chance for elemental effect to occur. Elemental effects can be decent, but won't have much of an impact without the right mask abilities. Since this relic gives you an increased chance for all elemental effects, it'd be worth to get it on earlier on. So then you got Tiger's Tablet, plus 50% Guardian of Fortune main bonus, plus 100% HP. You should get it mid level. Makes the crit bonus from Guardians of Fortune stronger, not to be mistaken for Guardians of Wealth, which is one that gives you more sparks. I get them mixed up from time to time. This relic can be skipped due to low crit chance and early game. This relic bonus multiplies with Shields of the Gods, so level both to get the most out of them. Then you got Power Parchment, so plus 1% Power Orb chance, plus 120% HP, and this will be maxed out at 10. And this is very good. You put Orb Rail, because Orb Rail is a separate tournament you can speed through, so it's quite good for that. Increased chance that Power Orb will spawn, not really vital unless you play very actively to get Orb Chains. It helps a lot out of Orb Rails to get higher scores, so if you want to do well on them, then get this relics. Otherwise, hold off on it for more important ones. Again, I've done a separate video on Orb Rail in the guides. Look at the guide section, link below. It pretty much covers everything you're not too sure about. Striking Scroll. So this is a plus 5% upgrade cost reduction and plus 100% spark drop. It can be maxed out at 12, and it should be early mid. Learn the cost of upgrading your Masketeers, quite straightforward. Then it's got Scroll of Embers, gives you a 2% team burn chance and a plus 150% damage. This should be maxed out, it can be maxed out at 5 levels, and this should be late game. Increases the chance for fire elemental effect, not important to get early due to not always using fire mask earlier on. You got Sage's Crown, plus 1% soul orb chance and plus 120% damage, and it maxed out at level 5. Again, you can use it for Orb Rail, so increase the chance that soul orb will spawn, not really vital unless you play very actively to use ultimates. It helps out a lot in Orb Rails to get them higher score. If you want to do well in those tournaments, get that. Otherwise, hold off for more important ones. Then you've got Splendid Headdress, plus 100% spark wraith spark drop, plus 7% spark drop, and this could be early mid. Increases the spark drop from spark wraiths. Spark wraiths are good and reliable source of sparks throughout the whole game. Then you got Fiery Didem, and it could be an A and F depending. So it's 150% team fire damage and 120% HP, and that could be good. You can get that earlier on in the game. Increases fire damage for your Masketeers. Elemental damage is the best source of damage in the game. This relic requires that your main damage dealer is wearing a fire mask to give any benefits. If not, then this is an F tier rank. Get this relic ASAP to give you more choice when it comes to selecting your mask and team. So as I mentioned earlier on, elemental damage is a huge part, and you can stack that as well. For example, say if you had all the team with fire elemental damage, and they had team damage added to that on the 4. So each team member that has a fire mask increases damage, and you have all 4 fire masks with this item. That's when it becomes an A tier and you absolutely smash through the stages. So you also got S Sparkful Band, plus 5% chance for 10% sparks, plus 100% HP, and that maxes at level 10, and that's the first. This relic gives you a chance to get 10 times the sparks. This works for all spark sources, including Koyads. You may need to get this one of your first relics, is just that good. And then you've got Crimson Vow, which is plus 5% red rune stats, plus 90% damage. It should be early mid. Increases the bonus your Musketeers get from their equipped red runes, or rune stats start out quite weak. They later on get really strong. The main red rune you use in the diamond shaped one with the plus spark drop, the round plus all damage rune isn't used much past the early game due to sharing the same attack bonus as the green diamond plus team damage rune. Using both will only add their bonus together, making it more effective than the green or blue rune orbs. So then you've got Blizzard Ring, plus 150% team ice damage, plus 120% spark drop, and that should be earlier on. Increases ice damage for Masketeers. So the same as like the fire one. So it's elemental damage source, but this is mainly aimed towards blizzard, so ice. So again, if you've got all ice elemental damage masks, or your main dealer is an ice one, this will help out tremendously. So you've got Frosted Coffer, plus 2% Team Frost chance, plus 120% HP. If you maxed out at level 5, and you should get the late game. Increases the chance for ice elemental effect, not important to early game, which is not always using ice mask earlier on. Then you got a Verdant Crate, which is plus 5% green rune stats and plus 100% spark drop, and this should be get earlier on. Increases the bonus your masters get from their equipped green runes. While green runes start out quite weak, but later on get really strong. Green runes are by far the best, since you always be using them, at least 2 of them, the round and diamond. The reason for that, elemental damage is the best damage, and team damage is also great. So then you got Chest of Influence, plus 1% Spark Wraith spawn chance and 120% damage. It maxes out level 20, and you should get it early mid. Increased chance to spawn Spark Wraith instead of a normal Wraith. And then you've got S tier, Void Volume, and that's a plus 0.5% Void Wraith chance and plus 120% Spark Drop. It maxes out level 10, it should be early mid. And this increases the spawn of Void Wraith instead of Boss Wraith. Void Wraith is basically a splashing Wraith, so once you kill it, it helps you splash through stages, so it shortens your run time. That's why it's S tiers. Basically makes your runs quicker. B, Blue Bound, plus 5% blue rune stat and plus 100% HP, and that's mid. Increases the bonuses your masters get from their equipped blue runes. While blue runes start out quite weak, later on they get really strong. Blue runes are not that important in early game due to bonus not being useful. Blue runes become much more important when you use Cane or Felina in late game, and when you want to maximize the damage potential by having a green and blue round rune. You got Lightning Tomb, it could be an A or an F. So it's plus 150% team static damage, plus 120% damage. This should be early. So this increases stat damage for Masketeers. Again, it's an elemental damage increase, so like the Frost and the Fire one. So if you've got a lightning effect or static effect on all your mask or your main damage dealer, it'll increase the damage for that quite a lot. That's why it's A if you've got that elemental on all your masks or your main dealer. If you haven't, it's an F. So you've got a C, Voltic Jar, plus 2% team stack chance and plus 150% spark drop, and it maxes out level 5, and you should get late game. Increases chance of ice elemental effect. I said elemental, but it should be static. Not important early due to you're not always using a static mask earlier on. They're going to S, Collector's Pride, plus 10% relic main bonus, plus 100% damage. It should be early or mid. Now this increases all relic main bonus when you upgrade them. So each relic has 6 upgrade steps per level, with each step giving the main bonus. For example, if a relic has a main bonus of 100% damage, you'll get 600% damage per level. This relic increases the base plus 100% damage with 10% per level. So 100% becomes 110% at level 1. If your base main damage is 200%, it will become 220 at level 1. The relic becomes more powerful with each other relic you get, so it's not super important to get as one of your first ones, but you want to have it sooner rather than later, getting expensive to level. So Collector's Pride is really good. And then you got Vase of Explosion, so plus 3 Void Wraith Stage Warp, a plus 100% HP, and that maxes at level 10, and it's early mid. So increases the stage skip when using Void Wraith. You always get 1% chance to spawn of Void Wraith, but this relic is best when you already have Void Volume, as I explained before. And then you got S tier Ethereal Comb, I don't pronounce it incorrectly, plus 10% Wisp main bonus, plus 100% spark drop, and that should be mid levels. Increase the bonus your Wisp give per level. Wisps are the best source of damage and sparks in the game by far. Once you get one of them past level 100, Wisp will double the bonus every 5 levels, which means we start out weak, they grow exponentially. This relic just makes them better, but it's very expensive to level up. And you got Pearl Blossoms, plus 2% chance for extra orb, plus 200% damage, and that maxes at level 15. Best using Orb Morale. Increase the chance of an extra orb spawn. Not really vital. It helps a lot out in Orb Morales to get a high score if you want to do well on them. Get this relic. You always get Astral Burst more often, otherwise hold off in the more important ones. Get Chronocomb, plus 50% seconds to boss timer, plus 200% HP, max at level 4. Mid, gives you extra time to kill bosses, not important unless you're pushing, it doesn't make you any stronger. Then you got Blessed Bulwark, which is plus 10% main mask bonus, plus 100% HP. Should be getting this earlier in game. Increases the power of your mask. Masks get a lot stronger the higher your max stages, while expensive to level, it's a must have. Shield of the Gods, plus 15% Guardian main bonus and plus 100% damage. You should get this earlier on. Increases the bonus from all your Guardian beasts. Gets really expensive to level, but worth it. Get it. And last but not least is Golden Aegis, which is plus 20% offline earnings, plus 200% spark drop. And you should get this last. It says the worst relic in the game. Offline earnings are not worth it to pick this up than any other relic. Its main bonus is quite good, so don't ignore it once you get it in the last relics. It's just the last one to get. Now, also on the guide, I did the whole thing without including the numbering system on the last column. So the numbering system last column is basically graded between 1 and 5 and just gives you indication of when you should get it. I mean, it should generally tell you with everything I've gone through, you should get which ones you get early and late. So obviously the S tier ones should get earlier, and there's a couple of F and D ones you should get later. It's in your discretion exactly when to get them, but this will help. This system helps you roughly. So 5 not so much earlier on, 1 definitely get. You should definitely get these ASAP. So it gives you kind of indication that there's another one here. So these ones you should get ASAP. As an indication, so you can use that numbering system if you want to, or you can just go through the description. We just literally went through and look at the document and use it your own. There's a good, say about 6 to 8 ones you should be getting, within the first 1,000 stages. So the main top 3 which you unlock as you progress through your milestones, they're must have, and the rest of them, couple of the S tier ones we mentioned earlier. Now this is a rough guide. Obviously everyone has their own opinions and thoughts and ideas, so please leave your comments below if you might choose different relics differently. We'd love to see your feedback. Again, thank you so much for Ahlmeister for all of his effort in this, providing this for the community. Couldn't thank him so much. Just send your love his way. Thank him. And if this has helped you in any way, make sure you're followed and subbed and hit the notification, because I do update or send out the latest news, guides, tips for Masketeers to you guys first. So I hope this helps. I have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.